Carolyn Dube here. What's the play for today? Well, today I'm playing in my art journal, and I've decided to use some things that I would have thrown away. Now, the reason why I chose some things I would have thrown away is because that's the theme for this month's Let's Play. And I decided to grab two things. I'm going to go big. Two things that I would have thrown away, or somebody would have thrown away. The rules for this challenge, well, they're open for interpretation. One of them is some tissue that came as gift wrap, and the other one is some rub-ons that I found that, frankly, I don't even know how I ended up with these rub-ons. They really don't look like anything I've ever done. And so, I don't know how these ended up in my stash, but they were buried in the bottom of my stash, and they needed to go. They either need to be thrown out or used up. So, enough of my talking. Come enjoy the video where you see how this play doesn't go exactly as planned. And yeah, there's an oops or two along the way. I'm going to use this cleanup page in my art journal. It's a cleanup page because it cleaned up the spray ink on the back of a stencil after I was playing. Don't want to waste any color or pattern. It doesn't matter that the words are backwards. It doesn't matter in the end. And I've got these rub-ons here, this Christmas style that's not exactly my style, and they're not tacky on the back anymore. Probably because I think they're like 10 years old and I didn't store them with the wax paper or the liner behind it, so nothing against the company that created these. I didn't take care of them and they're really old. Now, as I'm putting these on, I am just kind of dragging the popsicle stick through certain areas, and I really have to push down hard on that popsicle stick to get it to transfer the images. That's probably a function of the age of them. And in some places, I'll actually even rip the plastic because I'm pushing so hard to get them to stick. I'm just dragging the popsicle stick through, getting little bits and pieces here and there. And this way, I'm using up something that I absolutely would have thrown away because I really thought these weren't going to work at all because, well, they weren't tacky at all. They didn't seem to transfer easily, but it looks like they're working out pretty well. Or so I thought. After I was done, I thought I'd just double check and run my hand over it to make sure that they were all on securely. And as I brush my hand across this, something happens. I pick a whole bunch of them up on my fingers. So that means they're not on really well, and it turns out, yeah, they really were kind of old rub-ons. Never fear, we're going to call that an oops, and it's easily fixed by adding a layer of glue on top. I am just dragging some gel medium on top to seal it as it goes. And as I look at this, I realize, wow, this really has a lot more of a Christmas feeling to it than I expected it to have. Now, why did I think it wasn't going to have a Christmas feeling to it, seeing as how I was using very Christmassy rub-ons on it? Who knows what goes on in my head, but never fear, the fact that it has a Christmas look to it, we're just going to call that an oops. It is an opportunity, and it's not going to look Christmassy by the time I'm done. Now, for this month's theme for Let's Play, which is all about how do you let yourself play, it's about using something that would have been thrown away. And this tissue paper, well, this is something that a lot of people would have thrown away. It was used as gift wrap in a very nice gift that I got from a friend, and I have now treasured this piece of tissue paper. You'll notice that I only cut myself off a little piece of it. I had that big sheet, but I'll only give myself a little bit because it's almost like I'm Matt Damon and I'm trapped on Mars in The Martian, and I've somehow got to make this tissue paper last the next 10 years or the world's going to come to an end. And so I only allow myself to use little bits of it at a time, and I'm even willing to fussy cut because I love diamonds so much. I love these shapes and colors. So I am fussy cutting. Okay, this is fussy cutting for me. If you're someone that does that beautiful form of Japanese paper cutting, you're probably looking at this going, yeah, that's not fussy cutting. But for someone that's impatient like me, this is totally fussy cutting. And so I'm very, very carefully cutting these out. Now, if you got here by stopping over at my blog at acolorfuljourney.com, you might have seen the picture of what this art journal spread looks like completely finished. And you're probably wondering, where on earth were these diamonds in here? I mean, she's cutting 5 of these things out. They're pretty big for the size of the art journal page. They'd be hard to miss. And well, you didn't miss them. It turns out I get so wrapped up in other play, I actually never put these onto my art journal page. So the good news is I've got them cut out so I can use them in something else, some other play. But just because I had a plan to use them doesn't mean that I am legally obligated to use it. But after all the work to cut them out, you bet I'm saving them and will use them in another project. Now, at this point, I didn't know that I wasn't going to use them, but I knew I needed some more color on here. So I grabbed this fun opera rose color that's kind of like a neon pink, but it's not quite totally neon. I'm really fallen in love with this new color lately. Well, this whole Christmas vibe, yeah, it's not really working for me, so I'm just going to cover up part of the rub-ons, really whatever I feel like covering up, with some heavy body white paint. What I'm really looking for is just some kind of opaque paint that will cover that stuff up. And of course, am I going to stop here with the color? No. This time I'm bringing in a very shimmery metallic paint and kind of randomly putting it in places. You've probably figured out I have no real plan here, that I am just kind of putting stuff wherever I have the impulse to put it. And up to now, I was having some fun, but the fun really took off for me when I grabbed that Pico embellisher and I put that orange color, and I doing a little bit of fiddling here, but I just can't stop thinking about that orange and that fine line application of it with the Pico. And so I start putting some dots on it, and well, I just kind of got a little carried away, and I'm dripping dots all over the place, just squeezing and dripping, and that brought me so much joy. It was so much fun to put them everywhere, but that's a lot of dots that I put on there. I kind of got a little carried away. Never fear, it's just an oops, an outstanding opportunity presenting suddenly, so I'm just kind of gonna wipe away some of those dots and mix some colors around with it. Now, in this video, you've heard me mention Let's Play, and if you're not familiar with it, what that is each month there's a theme about how to let yourself play, and then each week I have a video on that theme, as well as a link party where you can share and others can share what you're creating, how you're playing. Now, by the way, I don't follow my own plans half the time, so when it comes to sharing the play for Let's Play, you can share any play. If it's on the theme, great. If it's on something else, great, because it's really all about play and having fun. And by the way, there is a gift certificate giveaway each month, and you can find all the details about how to get in on that $50 Dick Blick giveaway gift certificate over on the blog at A Colorful Journey. So now here I am. I'm feeling pretty good about this. I had so much fun playing, except that word holiday. It just doesn't jive for me, so I really want to do something to cover that up. I needed something besides holiday there. So I happened to have a piece of book text that I'd cut out from some other project but hadn't used it. Noticing a theme there? I start stuff and don't finish it, but it ends up showing up in a later project. And that's what's happening here. I have got a piece of book text that I just waved randomly in front of you there, there's no way to read it. And I'm putting a little bit of gel medium on it, and I'm just going to attempt to put it right on there, trying to get it straight. You'd think, that this was like rocket science as I'm trying to glue this on there. And what it says is, we're taken by surprise. And I thought that was just the perfect set of words for this, because I was totally taken by surprise by the fun I had putting those orange dots all over the page. And really for me, that's what a lot of the play is about, is just getting lost in the fun. Just having a blast unexpectedly. Couldn't have planned it, but man, did I have fun making those dots everywhere. Well, thanks for joining me for today's play. If you've enjoyed this video, give it that thumbs up, hit that like for it. And if you've got friends that you think would enjoy having a little more play in their day, I'd really appreciate if you shared this video with them. And of course, the subscribe button will mean when you hit that you'll always know when I have a new video out. And you can find out more about Let's Play, find out what other people are doing, see what's been linked up and shared for more inspiration, and share what you're creating. And no, you don't have to have a blog to do it. There are lots of ways that you can participate. So head on over to the blog and check it out at acolorfuljourney.com. Thanks so much for being a part of this colorful journey.